Okay, so let's take a look at how you can connect SQL Server to Power BI. So if you are using online cloud version, then you will notice that you have option to use the databases through cloud. So you have Azure, SQL database, and data warehouse. There is also Spark and analysis service connection, but this would be specific to Azure, so I won't comment further on that. So what we'll do is instead we will open desktop version of Power BI, right? So as you can see here, we have desktop version. Should open up this splash screen where we can choose to get the data, right? So by default you can see you have option for Excel and all these databases options. So let's take a look at SQL Server. Here you can see from get data database to SQL Server database. Now before we do that, we'll have to run the server. So if you have SQL Server on your desktop, you can open SQL Server Management Studio, right? And then you can start the SQL Server. Also make sure to open terminal or a PowerShell so that I can show you one command that you can use to get your server name, right? So as you can see here, you have your server name. You'll have to copy this, click connect. Once connected, what we can do, we can go here, type in SQL cmd -l. It should show you the server name, same name that we just copied. Now this is just for verification. What we can do in the meantime is go to get data database, then SQL Server database, click connect, and here we can paste the server name, click OK. And here as you can see, this is the database we connected to. You can use current credentials, right? And then click connect. Usually it will use your Windows connection. So here it says you're unable to connect. So what we'll do is we can simply, okay, once connected, you can simply choose the type of database you want. So let's say if I want worldwide importers, I can select that, and out of that, sales orders. Then we have sales and invoice, right? These are some of the tables that I can import, right? And then simply use load. As you can see, the number of rows are higher in this, so it may feel like taking a lot of our system memory. Now once everything is loaded, it will be available within fields. You can go and model, right? Also you can insert any other things that you want. And coming back to your data, here you get to view that, right? So this is for customer, invoices and orders. Similarly, you can also model it here. As you can see, what are some of the fields that are related will be displayed here, right? Okay, as you can see, we have managed to import these tables. Similarly, we can also manually add the data by clicking on enter data and go to our databases. Then we choose our tables, right? And we can run the query, something like, let's say, if I want to select top 1000 rows and run that query, right? And whatever the data that we get, as you can see here, we can choose the columns, right, and get those here, right? So up to 1000 of that data would be displayed here. Now I can simply select and copy and also see if I can paste it here. Okay, if it's too large, so what we can do, cancel, and we choose up to the limit, let's say up to 177, copy, then go here back again and paste. It will be also be possible to use it like this, right? So as you can see, this is one of the method with which we can import data from SQL Server to our Power BI desktop. So as I already shown you, in case of cloud, you have option to access the SQL Server only through Azure. We don't have option for our AWS or let's say Google Cloud as of yet. Also, if you have any other VPS through which you are importing the data, that option too isn't there, if I'm not wrong. So you won't be able to get through those sources, right? So in that case, you are limited to only using Azure Cloud with Power BI. And for desktop, however, you get data source like your local data source of SQL Server, right? In that case, you also get other databases like MySQL, PostgreSQL, Teradata, SAP, Oracle, right? And also with Power BI desktop, you may notice that it will allow you access to sources outside like Google Analytics, GitHub, right? And even from other sources outside Microsoft, right? But it seems like these sources are kind of limited for my account with Power BI, so I don't have much of that. So let's say if I choose services, then it should be available through specific apps that can give me the access. So for that, I can simply go to create, then these options, and then I can choose services. Within services, you can connect to external data. Make sure that app is available, otherwise connecting won't be possible. So Google Analytics is there. Let's try to find out if AWS is there, right? So Amazon seems to be missing. Google Analytics is there, but Google Cloud is not there, so we'll have to manually just give it our server address, right? So you get the idea how to import SQL Server data into Power BI. Okay, one more thing to let you know about this is that when you want to connect to SQL Server, make sure that server is running, because if it's not running, you won't be able to connect. So if I paste in the server name and if it's not running, it right? So if I paste in the name of server, right, and if I click OK, and if the server is not running in the background, it should throw error message, otherwise it will just let you connect, right? And it will then show you the database and respective tables, right? So as the server is already running in the background,